You are the consciousness that is using the tools of mind, body, and emotion to navigate this world. So if we know what the body is a tool for, if we know what the mind is a tool for, then what are our emotions a tool for? This is the multiverse. We're in it. I'm the God of my universe. You're the God of yours. I am talking about something today that is actually kind of fucking near and dear to my heart. I'm a Cancer sun. I'm going too fast. Let me slow my roll. I hope y'all are doing well today. It is really nice, rainy, cozy weather in Atlanta right now. So I've just been in the house chilling, reflecting. I've been having a couple of days in a row where it's been a bit of a challenge emotionally and mentally, and it's kind of got me thinking about how I've always had challenging times emotionally and mentally, self-managing. I really wanted to share, mostly because I know with the world that we live in, the issue that I have or that I have had is not an issue that is, unique to me. Especially with my fellow Cancers out there, I know that there are a million instances that you can cite of people calling you over emotional, too sensitive, to this, to that, you feeling stuff too deep, it's not that serious, and all it is. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about how I have taken something that at one point was my greatest pitfall and turned it into my greatest superpower. So I am gonna get cozy and get my little drink going. Stella Peach limited edition. I think it's like 13 of those.
Why is you lying to me?
For the bottle. Enjoy your cocoa. Champa has entered the chat. So, as a Cancer,
they ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine, and you're not really fine.
Honestly though, I've always been sensitive, and I'm not gonna deny it, you know what I mean? I used to deny it back in the day and be like, no, I'm not sensitive, y'all are just mean. But to be honest, I am sensitive, and that's not to say that people aren't mean. That's just to say, I feel like that's been a downfall for me, because other people's opinions of me, other people's emotions towards me, other people's emotions just about their day and things that have nothing to do with me, just whatever the environmental frequency is that I'm walking into, I would just embody that and just become my environment, in the sense that I was so sensitive to the subtle frequency changes, which is kind of like the superpower of the Cancer, right? Honestly, I feel like because of the type of society we live in, male dominant, patriarchal society, qualities that are normally associated with being feminine, like being soft or sensitive, can be looked down upon. And so it's kind of dog eat dog. If you're not the one eating, you're probably the one getting ate. And as a very sensitive, hyper empathetic person, that is something that can lead you to being hurt a lot more than is reasonable. My relationship with my emotions has not only defined the world for me, but also defined me to the people in my life. Everyone who knows me to be sensitive. That's not good, girl. But even outside of what culturally we think about people who are sensitive, the experience you have with someone who is hypersensitive is like walking on eggshells. It's not knowing if the person is satiable or not. It's feeling like you're hurting them even if you're not trying to, feeling like a bad guy even when you're not one. And I personally don't want to make the people in my life feel like that, but I also don't want to be on the other end of that, where I'm constantly just bearing my soul and constantly being hurt. Because why are you bearing your soul right now? What the fuck? It's a Zoom call, bitch. Being really sensitive to the subtle frequency changes in your environment and feeling things with profound depth, it's not necessarily a bad thing. It becomes a bad thing when you are not having a healthy relationship with your emotions. Personally, my relationship with my emotions was broken and needed to be healed. Because what was happening was I was viewing my emotions as a determinant of how I experienced my reality. They influenced every aspect of my reality when they themselves were easily influenced by fickle variables that were outside of my control and misaligned with my intentions. In thinking about my relationship with my emotions, what I realized is that I have always had the wrong relationship with my emotions. Like, since day one, I never had it right. Here's the thing. Your emotions are a tool, just like your mind is a tool, just like your body is a tool. If your body is a tool to physically move you from one location to the next, to process food and turn it into energy so that you can sustain life. If your mind is a tool to visualize or to conceptualize, to understand, all of these things are tools being used by you, right? Because you're not your body, you're not your mind, you're not your emotions. You are the consciousness that is using the tools of mind, body, and emotion to navigate this world. So if we know what the body is a tool for, if we know what the mind is a tool for, then what are emotions a tool for? I'll tell you what emotions are a tool for. Your emotions are a tool that your consciousness uses to determine what frequency you are at any given moment. Simple as that. You are interpreting. That's what your emotions are. You can tell how in alignment you are with your highest self, with your higher self, your inner being, whatever you like to call her. You can tell how in alignment you are with that part of yourself by how you feel. If you walk into a room and it feels not great, odds are something in the energy or the matrix of that room is malaligned with your own intention. Now, obviously, can we always trust emotion? No, but that's where shadow work comes in. Because if I have done all the work, right, and I've gone through all my traumas, and honey, let me back up. If I am doing the work to go through my traumas and unpack things, rework things and figure shit out for myself mentally and kind of like declutter and debug my mind and my emotional body, then I know that if I need to make a choice between going left and right, and going left feels funny, it's not because I went left last time and it was fucked up and now it feels fucked up. No, it's because I can trust my intuition. I can trust my feelings. I know that if I'm talking to someone and they're kind of making me feel uncomfortable, kind of making me like, I don't know what it is exactly, but it's just something about them that I don't really want to interact with them. I know that it's not because they remind me of my ex and my ex is pissing me off, so they're gonna piss me off. No, it's because I trust that my antenna is picking up on something in their spirit and their energy and their frequency that is misaligned with my own. And I can trust that. And obviously that's something that has to be built. Building trust within yourself and building trust in your intuition, it takes time spent with yourself, time spent in the seat of awareness, as I like to call it, kind of like in that meditative state where you are just experiencing and you kind of disconnect from the thoughts, the sensations of the body, the memories and the emotions that you're experiencing, and just allowing them to pass by. You're sitting in the seat of awareness, you're sitting in the seat of consciousness, and you are just being, rather than trying to use any of your tools to enact anything onto the physical realm. Time spent in that seat can build your confidence and your trust in yourself. The reason why it becomes a superpower and not just a character trait that you conquered is because what you feel is what you attract.
What do you mean by that?
What you feel, not what you think, because I can think, oh, I want $1 million. But if what I feel is lack of $1 million instead of the abundance that having $1 million feels like, I'm just gonna be attracting that lack and not that abundance, right? So it's not about what you're thinking, it's about what you're feeling. It's not about what you're seeing, it's about what you're feeling. It's not about what you're saying, it's about what? That's right, what you're feeling. So if as a Cancer, if as a super hypersensitive person, could be a Pisces, could be a Scorpio. I got other water babies out there, okay? And those aren't the only people. You could have some very watery placements in your chart that really just make emotions heavy and very in depth for you. And I feel you, girl. I got a watery ass chart. I'm talking about wet. Seriously, like if you are naturally a person who feels things very deeply, then what does that mean? Whether you're doing it on purpose or not, you're always attracting at a very strong frequency. You are always emitting a very strong frequency. If you're able to, I don't like self-control, I like self-manage, okay? If you're able to manage your emotions and shift your relationship with your emotions from something that determines what your experience of the world and reality is, and instead look at it as something that you can use to express your intention.
Hi, editing Kelly here. What I was trying to say here was that since we know that the frequency that we're at any given moment determines what we're attracting to ourselves, and since we know that our frequency can be deciphered by us through understanding our emotions, meaning we can tell what frequency we're at by what emotion we're feeling at the moment, then we can use that as sort of like a guide to navigate ourselves more towards the perception and the embodiment of what our inner or higher selves would be at that given moment. So, for example, I know that happiness is a high frequency emotion and sadness is a low frequency emotion. So if my higher self or my inner being is the highest frequency version of me, embodying all of the desires that I have for my own life in the physical world, then by raising my frequency to a higher frequency one, like happiness, I know that I am aligning myself with the highest frequency version of myself, which is my inner being, at which point the floodgates open and you begin to attract to yourself everything that your inner being sees for yourself.
And to attract to yourself the desired reality. Because if you look at it like that, then honey, you being mad at me is not gonna make me upset, because guess what? That's gonna take me out of alignment with my higher self. I don't want that. If you look at your emotions as a tool, then just imagine you're building a house and someone walks up and takes your hammer and starts deconstructing your house with your own tool. That doesn't make any sense. If I am trying to manifest something into this world and I'm using the tools that are available to me, my mind, my body, my emotions, my, everything that I got in my little repertoire as a spirit having a physical experience, and I'm using all of my tools, emotions being one of them, to construct this manifestation, and then someone comes along and uses my emotional tool against me to get me to emit a frequency that is opposite of the manifestation that I'm trying to bring into this world. They're using my tool against me. That does not make any sense. I am allowing this to happen. Maybe that's not somebody who you should give your tool to. Maybe if they're not building the same thing you're building, so I feel like I'm rambling. Yeah. Basically, in summation, your emotions should not control your life, and everything in your life should not be in control of your emotions. Your emotions are a tool. Just like your mind is a tool, just like your body is a tool. They are tools of spirit. With your emotions, you can receive intuitive guidance. You can navigate the physical world by having a better understanding of your energetic environment at any given moment. And you can attract to yourself in this physical world whatever it is that your mind has visualized, and you can use your body to work towards keeping that frequency and alignment using your emotions. You can attract that thing to yourself. You got the recipe. But you can't just be out here crying and shit, baby girl. Like, what the okay, that was wrong. You can't be out here crying. Because let me tell you something. I'ma cry. If I gotta do anything else, I'ma cry. If I can't do shit else about it, you gonna get that tear, baby. Because guess what? That shit hurt. That shit hurt bad, bitch. And you ain't finna tell me I can't feel my emotions, because guess what? Feeling your emotions is your superpower. Just make sure that the emotions that you're feeling and allowing yourself to feel are productive. And by that, I mean, when it's time to be sad, be sad. But honey, understand what being sad is going to attract into your life. Be sad for a purpose. Be sad because you're releasing shit. Be sad because you're moving on. Don't just be sad because a motherfucker don't like you. Don't just be sad because somebody's disapproving of you. Don't just be sad because somebody has said something hurtful to you. Those aren't productive emotions. Not that we have to be all productive every day, all day. No. But productive in the sense that you're moving toward the goal that you have set for yourself. And I definitely am on the journey to emotional freedom, emotional liberation. And so this isn't a topic that I'm just gonna touch on and get the fuck on from. I will be revisiting it just so that I can update y'all on my progress and where I am in the journey. And also so that we can talk about new developments, new techniques, new strategies, and new ways that we've learned to self-manage and manage our emotions, and do so to the benefit of ourselves and the world around us. Thank you for joining the Chunkster. But yeah, that's all. That's it. I'm gonna go eat me some chili and biscuits.